This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Umaru Sandamadu. On Point Blank tonight, the Member of Parliament for Adansia Square, Honorable K.T Hammond, popularly known as K.T Hammond, is my guest. You're welcome, sir.
How are you?
Where have you been? It's been ages since we heard or saw you in this country or in Parliament. You are rather not an MP who goes quiet. What happened to you?
What brought us here today?
Oh, we are having a conversation. We're talking, Adansia Square, we'll talk Parliament, we'll talk AMERI, and we'll talk Honorable K.T Hammond.
You told me to come for AMERI. Shall we press on with AMERI?
Oh, you not tell me where you have been? That's only fair. I know you're a lawyer. Maybe you decided to write to the speaker to go and deal with some international case,
I prefer to deal with AMERI this evening.
Okay, but okay, fine. You're skipping that one. How about Anas Arimi Anas? Something big is coming tomorrow.
Which one is coming tomorrow?
Anas's video.
Yes, of course, yes. What about it?
Oh, are you expectant?
Well, I mean, to start with, I know somebody's been referred to the police by...
Yes, the president of the GFA.
And then I also...
Your colleague in Parliament, too.
Who is this?
From Laura.
No, actually, I spoke with him. And
yeah, he subsequently said it was not true. And the reports kept saying that he has been invited. But he said to my producers that it was not true. He did not go to the CID to give any statement. No,
he's a good friend. So I mean, I was actually in London when this all came up. So as soon as I got down, I got in touch, and he said to me, "Come on, tell about. Don't worry at all. There's nothing in there." He accepts that his name has been bandied about or something by somebody, but really nothing to do with him personally. So I'm quite happy with that.
I see.
Yes.
Are you worried that we saw what happened with the justice system when Anas came out?
Yes.
Almost our justice system almost collapsed. Do you get a sense that our football may also collapse?
I don't think the justice system actually almost collapsed. It just happened that we had some pretty bad nuts among them. So if it was the case that Anas managed to expose them, and I think the system was better for getting rid of...
But your friend is also in the news, your client, Kennedy Akumpreku.
It's basically my brother. I don't know about my client. I disagree with him fundamentally on what he's doing. I've told him. I think he's wrong. And I support him when he has a genuine cause. I support him when he's pursuing a cause which I think benefits the whole country. But when he's wrong, I tell him he's wrong. On this one, I can support him.
And he's wrong because he's saying that who is watching the watchman? Because there are many people who support him and say that...
Not necessarily. If clearly something wrong with what Anas is doing, and he has evidence that Anas has done ABC, clearly bring it out. So far, I don't see much by way of evidence that is brought out to discredit Anas. Number two, I think we should allow the law to take its course. It's a legitimate course. The man has gone about, is brought out something. I mean, those of us in the legal profession, we were surprised, disappointed, but we're also happy that in the end we knew why certain things were the way they were. There are times that you read some judgments and you weren't quite sure if the judges really knew what they were doing. I mean, it's turned out that some of them weren't exactly writing it from their brains. I mean,
but from their pockets.
You see what I mean?
Apologies to the...
Well, apologies to nobody. I mean, it's sad. Look at the way justice was sold. So I think that if Anas has come out with another expose, which is going to... I've been very unhappy with the administration of football in this country for a very long time. Particularly this argument that they expect the government of the country to finance the activities, but that they are not accountable. to the government. I mean,
I've never
liked that. I mean, if you're autonomous, go out and get your money, expend it in the way that you want, but you don't expect the government to finance it, basically, finance the system, finance football administration, take the blasters. So think about what happened. We had to carry money on the flight, I mean, to those people, because they won't play if we didn't bring them their money and all that.
Brazil.
And when it comes to rendering accounts, we hear people talking about coefficiency of monies and all sort of things. I have not been very happy with that. So if an has come out with something, let's see what is in there. I'm a lawyer. You know,
you want the evidence.
You want the evidence, you know.
And
So
then you can examine.
Then you, I want my brother Ken to pipe down. Let us get to the bottom of it. If there's anything that anybody wants to do about Anas by way of the law, legally, so be it.
But that's what he's failing to do. He's failing to pipe down.
That's what troubles me.
It doesn't mean the leadership of the party, perhaps you are not doing a good job, or maybe the friends he has, like yourself.
No, I fight him. I fight him. I mean, there's something to fight him about.
Is he convinced about what
he may be convinced about it? No doubt about that. You see that he's got a conviction. I suspect he also got the courage of that conviction. You know, so
does it appear he's stepping on something?
That I don't know. I actually am arguing and egging him rather than on the face of it. Let the law take its course. Let if there's anything that is done wrong. I mean, the appropriate institutions. We got national security. We got the police. We got all those people. I mean, I think they are the right people to take up this matter at this stage. You see this whole thing about, you know, I am anxious. I'm anxious. I'm going to have another go at him.
We wait to see. Well, so have a chat with him. Your old friend. Your client.
I like him. You know, you keep saying the client. This is my client.
I remember when he was standing trial for treason. You were the one who was.
It's almost my brother.
I know, but you at the time you were his client. You were the one in court for him. You know.
I was going not as his lawyer, but as his brother, as his, whatever. You know. So on this one, we disagree. He knows we disagree because I've told him I am implacably opposed to what he's doing.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News 97.3 CTFM is a station. We are coming to you from number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and tonight my guest is the Honorable K.T Hammond. Many people don't know he's called Kobna Tahir. So the K.T stands for Kobna Tahir Hammond. He's MP for Adansi Asokwa, and he is the man who seconded the motion when he was brought before the House by the previous administration, the Mahama administration, on AMERI. Today, the Member of Parliament for Damongo, who is the minority spokesperson on Mines and Energy, Honorable Adams Mutawakil, was on City TV's Breakfast Daily, and he said that the Akufo-Addo administration ought to apologize after it became apparent that they are continuing with a deal that is so much criticized. The Honorable K.T Hammond is a man who supported the deal at the time, but he actually wrote a petition to the House, or a motion as they want to call it, requesting for the deal to be, what was the word you used again?
Rescinded.
Rescinded. And that motion was heard, a committee was set up. The committee has sat, it's finished sitting. A draft report was prepared, but that draft report is yet to see the light of day. Honorable K.T Hammond, you're welcome to Point Blank once again. The initial discussion was just a prelim. This is the main subject we're going to have a conversation on. Honorable Adam Mutawakil.
How do I get a ticket for tomorrow's premiere? He's your friend. Have you seen his face before? In the early 2000s, when I was at the Energy, he used to come to me. I mean, when he was writing those articles in the
Crusading
Guide, he would always come and we have a chat and all that and all that. All of a sudden,
he disappeared.
And the last I met him face to face was at Joy, and I he was sitting down there. We were talking, you know, there were a few things, but I knew it wasn't him. You know, I mean,
oh really?
Yeah.
So someone was in a mask.
It was a mask, plain face like that, but I couldn't believe that was his face. You know, so I said, you know, of course I know you, yeah, but I can't tell whether it is you or. So all these pictures, you know, him.
Again, coming from your brother.
I'm not so sure.
Coming from your brother.
But I saw him and I wasn't sure whether it was the person that I knew.
I have seen an actor who is dissociating himself, saying that that photo actually is him, and that's not him. So okay, let's talk about AMERI. What is the state of affairs?
Yes, Adam Mutawakilu Garus says he wants
an apology
from where?
From President Akufo-Addo.
You see, we should be quite careful about somehow the NDC and indeed my colleagues in Parliament have fundamentally misunderstood this whole business about the call or the motion for rescission in Parliament that I raised some time ago. They haven't understood it, and there has been so much panic and running around, and I do not quite understand. I never made the point that the NDC government, the Minister of Power, whoever were responsible at the time, did anything fishy. It's never been my argument. Indeed, what the Attorney General seems to have done, I haven't quite seen the whole report. Somebody called me and mentioned it to me the last time.
The draft, the report from the committee?
No, the opinion.
Okay, the AG's opinion, on the issue.
On the issue, you know, I haven't quite seen
we are told that the AG opined that the deal should be allowed to continue.
We talk about it, you know, but essentially quite a lot of what she seems to be saying has been what I've been saying. It's been what I've been saying, because I am saying that on the face of it, there doesn't seem to be anything illegal with it, because they seem to have gone through the motions. They went through the motion of going to what do you call it, procurement. The issue started with the institutions. They went to cabinet, back to the ministry, to Parliament, and then we approved it. On the face of it, I mean, when you talk about due diligence and all that, on the face of it, where do you find the illegality? You see, so that is the point that I have also been making all along. That is what the Attorney General has said. The Attorney General says that on the face of it, I mean, I really don't see what it is. So on the basis just of that, you cannot abrogate. That's what she seems to be saying. But then there is this big caveat. At the bottom end of it, she then says that, but of course, if ABC could be proved, then of course, all that she said in her opinion can be jettisoned. And one of those things that she's talking about is if there is any element of what you call it, misrepresentation. And that is what I have consistently been talking about. I'm saying that nobody on the face of it was deceived. This document then came to Parliament for us to work on. We, on the basis of what we were presented with, approved it. Subsequently, and that is what the Attorney General is saying, something has come to my notice, and that is contrary to the basis on which I, K.T. Hammond, seconded the motion in Parliament. Indeed, it's contrary to what the minority then, we in the committee, supported. And it's contrary to the information which enabled all of us as a group to present the report.
And this new information is that what?
This information is what I presented. That is the basis on which I have called for rescission, that we were misrepresented too.
That the contractor took the job and gave it to a third party?
Not entirely that. I mean, you took it to entirely, the law allowed for some...
subletting.
We call it, not subletting, we call it assignment. I mean, there is an element of an assignment in all these transactions which may sound in illegality. One of them, but maybe the Attorney General is not making much of it. But there is something that sounds in it. But that is not it. What I had argued in Parliament was this, that we were told that the 510 million was going to be arrived out on the basis of certain mathematical or financial calculations. They were going to be based on how much this company, this entity, was going to raise by way of equity financing and also by way of loans from the bank. This was how much they were going to raise. And so the interest that was going to accrue on top of the relative contributions were going to be A, B, C, D. And so ultimately, that will come to 510 million. So we agreed on that. I then get documentation to the effect that all that was balderdash. That's not what happened. They actually got a third contractor, a third party, to whom the whole thing was use your word,
offloaded or
sublet or whatever, you know. So, but transferred, that is the bit which was done even without the authority of government, and that was transferred on the basis of certain figure. we are going to give you a fixed sum contract, EPC contract, 300 million. We're going to give you that. Metcard, do you agree? Metcard says, well, yeah, okay, we're happy with that. We are going to give you a 60 million contract for the operations and maintenance. Metcard, do you agree? PPR, that's the name of the company. Parent, child, I think a child. The parent company is the Metcard thing, so it's one of the subsidiaries. Yeah, you know, so Turkish subsidiary. Do you agree? Yes, we agree. So in all, it was a sum total of 360 million. 360 million.
Not 500.
Not 500, which actually was the sum at stake. That's what they gave out. I then found details of how much they represented to PURC as how much was going to be their own personal equity contribution. I found out about how much they told PURC they were going to raise from banks. See, when you raise from any money from banks, you attract, the system allows you a certain percentage of return interest, because you are raising this thing from the banks. You are entitled to so much interest, I mean 9.5 or so. Yeah. And then you tell them that you are raising so much from your own equity. Equity financing fetches a very high premium, so that you are entitled to about 17 or so 0.5% interest on how much you are contributing. Ultimately, I found that none of that was true. They did not raise 1p, they did not raise anything from their own equity financing, nothing from the bank, absolutely zilch. Now that is the apogee of misrepresentation. It sounds in fraud.
Okay, so the committee was given the job to investigate. I remember they invited you, and indeed you went before the committee. You made your submissions. The previous minister for that sector for power was invited. So many people were invited, and they gave their statements. Where is the report of the committee?
Why is the NDC, my friends, Muta Wakilu and all that, why are they not waiting? Because this is the state of affairs. This is where we stand now.
Could it not be that this AMERI issue was used as a campaign message by members of your party? It was said that the Mahama government was corrupt and that AMERI was a corrupt deal. This government is 18 months into office and nothing has been done. It has not been scrapped.
I don't understand that. No. There has been a motion by me, supported
for
by
rescission,
government, supported by MPP government.
Exactly, but not in relation to the argument that was made on the campaign platform.
That what?
Your information was fresh, which was recently found.
Well,
it had nothing to do with what was used in 2016.
How recent?
As recent as a few months ago when you raised it on the floor.
No, it's not few months. See, you don't forget the count. They say, yeah, now.
Yes, but it's still after the elections. And yes, I'm saying that it was not based on what you found that the MPP mounted the campaign platforms and said that the AMERI deal was a corrupt.
Well, I'm saying that, I mean...
Your argument is entirely different.
I'm talking about legally. I'm talking legally. That is the point. But we, at the time of the MPP, it wasn't me. I mean, I wasn't the person who made
You seconded it, so you definitely couldn't have.
So I couldn't have, because obviously I must have known a little bit more than whoever my other colleagues who were making...
But the point from Mutawakilu Gallows is that, you know, the point has been made by the party members previously that it was a bad deal. Indeed, when the new administration took office, there was a team that was supposed to go to...
No, but Chief, maybe they actually knew something that I didn't know. So I actually give them credit. Because ultimately, rather belatedly, I am finding out that, of course, there was something that was kind of more than met the eye.
So still there shouldn't be an apology.
There can't be an apology. There could be an apology, but let's wait. Who offers the apology? Let's wait for the committee to present its report. Thereafter, we decide who renders the apology.
What has the committee told you about your report?
The committee doesn't have to tell me about the report. I am a member of the committee, so I know about the report.
But you're an interested party. You were the one who...
And of course, also a member. You couldn't dismember me, quote unquote.
But because you were the one being investigated, I'm sure you recused yourself.
No, I was not being investigated.
Okay, you petitioned. You caused the investigation to be conducted. So definitely you would recuse yourself from the committee sittings.
No, I'll give my evidence, as you said.
Yeah, which was on camera. We all saw that.
Of course, yes, sure. But because I'm also a member of the committee, I would know what is going on.
Okay, so where's the report of the committee?
See, so that's a different thing altogether. Yes, the committee is prepared its report. It's been outstanding for some time now.
Many months, maybe a year.
I'm not so sure about a year. You need to put this question to the majority leader, Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu. He is the leader of the house. He manages the business of the house. So he would have to determine when there's a slot for.
K.T, I recall when you filed a motion, it was an urgent one. You wanted rescission, and everybody was asking the question, why are you wanting a rescission? And you forced the House to sit down, not force them, but literally.
Well, you're right, literally, because I forced the point.
But you forced them, and they sat and constituted as a committee, the standing committee to investigate this matter.
It wasn't constituted.
I mean, the standing, that's why I said standing committee.
Yes.
Now, it's been months, and this report is not out, and you're not worried as a petitioner?
What do you mean I'm not worried? That's why I said I put this to the majority leader, who is also the leader of the House.
Did you try to put it to the majority?
I have had inquiries. I've been running inquiries with him. Why is it that this not come up yet?
The responses you got, are they tangible reasons for which
I want this to come from his mouth? You know, the majority leader can speak for himself. I'm not sure whether he's listening to me or not. He is very good and very articulate. He can speak for himself.
But
so get him.
Is your noble K.T Hammond not, you know,
not what?
courageous enough to call out his leadership if his leadership is failing to do the job in the interest of the people?
Even my worst enemy, can't accuse me of what we've just done.
I take it back then.
Take it back.
But it's a question. I didn't say you are not courageous. I'm just saying.
So, I believe in the division of parliamentary labor. Mine is to do my work. He is the leader. His is to do his work.
How long can you wait for this report?
I'm not sure. I think it's now a matter of time. I mean, the discussions that we've had in the last so many whatever, I mean, I get the impression that there now will be a parliamentary slot for the report. It must be coming fairly soon.
So you still have time to wait?
What do you say? Still have time?
I mean, I just want to know how long.
Not me. I mean, I have time to wait. I don't quite understand what you mean, but I still have time to wait. You know, I mean,
if you send a petition, you want timely.
Well, no. We have a speaker who is the boss of the House, and then a leadership who operate.
And the chairman of your committee.
The chairman of the committee is under the leader.
Do you know whether the chairman of your committee has submitted a report to the leadership, as in like the majority leader? Do you know?
You see, he wouldn't submit it to the leader of the House. The leader would have been informed that the committee is completed with a job.
Good. Do you know whether he has told the leader that we are ready? Please call us to the House.
Yes, I'm aware.
So, so you mean the one stalling the process now is the majority leader?
Be careful about your choice of words. Stalling. You know, I haven't said that.
Okay, the one holding the process is the majority leader.
It hasn't come to the plenary because the majority leader hasn't.
Put it in the business.
Yes.
So that's it. In English, it's called stalling.
I'm not so sure. I think I speak good English. I mean, at least those who don't know, I speak good English.
Honorable K.T Hammond, thank you for being my guest on Point Blank. These are your ANAS tickets, but it's for 10 p.m. tomorrow because he's been overwhelmed. He's run out of tickets.
But how do you get, well, magician, you get pulled out of the cab, rabbit hat, you have so. Oh, I see. Yes. And that's him. That is
that's something that looks like him. Like you said to me, you can't be sure if he's him. So
I get the impression that you are going to yourself.
Well, I can't wait. First showing is 3 p.m. and I will be there with the Eyewitness team.
So why do you say 10 p.m.? Or what you are giving me is 10 p.m.
Yes. Well,
you do the 3 p.m.
Yes.
And I would have to wait.
I run commentary on it.
Take them back. I'm not interested.
Honorable K.T Hammond there, my guest on Point Blank. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Up next is City Trends. Stay with 97.3 City FM. We have more coming up.